How are we getting clients? Who reaches out to those clients? Is it like a marketing plan? So you're starting to get more and more size of the business. Is there a sales plan? Is there something called a funnel? Hey there, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now my goal after this video is to help you understand your client's business as a virtual assistant. Now if this is your first time on my channel, my name is Lai Lacaba. I've been working from home since I was 15 years old and now run my own virtual assistant company here in the Philippines. And I post videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to have a business from home. So make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos. Now whether you are new to being a virtual assistant and you just got your first client, or you've been doing this for a while and this is your 10th client, it's really important that you understand what your client does, especially how you are affecting and helping out their business. This is one of the ways that you can show up the best, that you can be more effective when it comes to working with your client. And also if you want to start your own business, this is something that's really essential for you to start understanding as you're still a virtual assistant. And it's one of the ways that I have been able to build my own business is early on, even when I was still working as an employee for someone else's business, I was learning, okay, what are the structures? How would I understand this? And that's what I'm going to walk you guys through in this video. Now, one of my mentors, Tom Tate, he is actually my co-founder in 2XU. He's the person who hired me years and years ago when I was still working all remotely and online. He taught me a very valuable and easy way to remember how someone's business looks like. And it's basically down to 3 factors: money, systems, and people. Now when it comes to these 3 factors, I've actually transformed this and made this part of the backbone of 2XU really on how our assistants can help their clients best. And this is what we're going to dive in today, is we're going to look at those money, systems, people, and be able to understand someone's business from those 3 points. Now, the first thing, money, is basically finding out how either the company makes money or spends money. That's basically the 2 factors of that. So basically you want to look at your client's business and ask, hey, how do we get clients? You might not be asking this directly to your employer, but you might be just observing of, hey, how are we getting clients? Who reaches out to those clients? Is it like a marketing plan? So you're starting to get more and more size of the business. Is there a sales plan? Is there something called a funnel, basically, of how we get people who are just interested to actually becoming clients and customers for the business? So when you have this higher point of view, that already in itself is really powerful because you are seeing the business from that point of view rather than just focusing on tasks that you are getting done. You're seeing how the tasks you're doing is affecting a bigger project and a bigger project until you can see that, oh, this is how I'm helping support this business. So when you understand even that first part of, okay, how does my client make money, you're already seeing the value of the work that you're doing and being able to continue to do so. The money side is basically 3 things. First thing is the marketing side. Again, how do we draw potential clients and customers in? Then it's the sales side. Once we have their attention, what do we do to get them to becoming a customer? And then it's going to be client management. So for you as a virtual assistant, if you start thinking this way as a business owner, then you're going to understand more and more how other people have started their own businesses. Again, how to draw people in, how to convert people once they're there, how to have people stay and keep wanting more, and even better, referring other people to go back to that main start of getting them interested, converted, and then having them as a recurring customer or a client. So that's the first thing that you want to look at as you're trying to understand your client's business. Again, you want to ask, how do we get them as a client? What's kind of the top ways that we can get them? Are they actually just referrals through social media, through other marketing pushes, through doing podcasts? What's kind of the way that your client generates that so people get interested? And then on the sales funnel side, how many times do you have to follow up? Who actually sends the first email? How do they actually book in the call? Is it through tools like Calendly, or is it just directly back and forth talking about like, hey, I'm available this time, and back and forth? It's also then looking at who are our direct competitors, who are the people that our potential clients and customers are talking to before they need us. So this is kind of really looking at the whole business of the sales part of it. So then again, you understand it a little bit better, which again, you can put into your advantage. And then of course, the last part of that is just client retention, is how do we keep clients? How do we make sure that our services are actually something that they want, that makes sense for them? How do we get them to keep referring us to other people? So it's basically making sure that you're understanding that whole cycle from getting someone who is interested to converted to someone who is a recurring customer. So you're seeing that whole map. So again, you're understanding the business from the point of view of like, oh, this is where I can actually put more effort in. So then the business grows, and of course, with the business growing, that's going to mean more raises, more options for you, and more ways for you to keep growing. Now, the next section is systems, and this is something that people usually miss, but it actually is a thing that will hurt them in the long run. Systems is basically the way that you document things to make sure that they can be repeatable results. So the example I really love using is, let's say you've made the perfect recipe for carbonara, and carbonara is one of my favorites, so I always use that, and you didn't write it down. You didn't write down the recipe, how many cloves of garlic you used, how much cream you used, even how long the pasta was cooked. And because of that, you can't create the same recipe over and over again. Now, you can think of systems as the operations side of the business. It's basically the way that things run and how things are run and how to make sure that things are run the same way over and over again, unless there's a way to make them better. So when you look at systems part, it's basically the standard operating procedures. It's basically the day-to-day tasks. What are the recurring tasks? What are routine tasks, meaning tasks that get activated because something happened? So for example, a routine task could be, hey, we just got a new client. Okay, now we have to do all of these steps. From step 1 to 10, it's all written down so nothing falls through the cracks. That's basically the focus of the system side of these three factors. Is then you're looking at, okay, how does my client do this? How is this built? How is this processed and given out to the clients or the customers? So again, you're having that higher point of view. Instead of just looking at the tasks that you're doing, you're understanding it from a higher vantage point that will again help you know what to focus on and what not to focus on. This will also then help you know, like, hey, here's a little shortcut to improve. Becomes like so much easier for you to do in the future. It also again serves just as a checklist for you to check yourself against, to double triple check, as I always say, and making sure that you're following the process along. So the system side is really just knowing the processes, knowing again the operation side of the business of how things are done. So then you have again a bigger understanding of how the work that you do impacts everything else. And lastly, there's going to be people. So people is basically kind of what you expect. Who are your customers? So earlier in the money side, you were wondering about like, how do we get them? How do we make sure that they become a client or customer? The people side is then who? Who are your customers? Who are the people that you guys are trying to attract? So you can see how this becomes kind of full circle. Who are the people who would benefit the least from product or service that your client is selling? So you're understanding a deeper part of, why does this business even exist? What is the problem basically that we're solving for these people, of why they're willing to give us money for it? Another way to look at the people side is then looking at the org chart for your company. Who are the people that you're working with? Who are the direct reports? Who are the people who can answer the questions that you might have and be able to help you in very specific tasks? If it's just you and your client, then who else would you probably need to be able to support everything else that's going on in their business? Who are the different people who you guys can either hire or grow into to help with different parts of the business? Who are external people who are helping everything else? So for example, in 2XU, we are working with technically 3 other companies. One is our overhead umbrella company that supports everything else. We also have a publishing company who is our sister company, and a software company that also helps support us. With that ecosystem, then our assistants basically have to understand that whole thing of like, these are different people, this is who to contact when this arises or this goes wrong or this goes really right. Again, you're having that better understanding of who to tap when different things pop up, and also you're building what we call your who list. Who is the person to contact with this? Who is the person to make sure that this happens? Or again, you're understanding more of the kind of people that you're also serving with your client. If they're a coach, these are the people that they like working with the best. If they're selling products in their company, these are the people who like their products, who keep coming back for more, who keep recommending this product to other people. So the who side is really more recruitment. Who do we need? It's going to be support side. Who are the people who can support us on different parts of the business? And it's basically, again, who are their clients? Who are the people who we can serve the best with this type of business? As you start working more and more with your client, I really suggest that you map it out. Instead of 2XU, we train this, we call this the business mind map, where we have them actually write out, okay, based on what you understand so far in your client's business, what does the money systems people look like? This then gives them, again, clarity and kind of just a sense of calm, like, oh, this is where everything goes. and kind of understanding more and more, oh, this is how I'm affecting this part, or this is how I'm supporting my client on this side. And this really helps a lot when you're in overwhelm, when you are not understanding a lot of the different projects and tasks that you're doing, just because, again, you don't have the full context. So this is literally you building yourself a context map, so then it's easier for you to understand what happens in the business and why. Now, if you guys like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button right there and comment below what kind of business do you think your client is in. And if you still haven't, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to run a business from home, which you guys can check out those two playlists right here and the latest video right here. I hope you guys have an awesome day. And remember that small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!